Hey everybody, it's Kyle coming to you from my basement. Actually, I thought I recorded this, but I didn't. I had my portable recorder with me, and I thought I had recorded, and I apparently wasn't, or somehow it got corrupted. I don't know, but the file just is not there. So I'm re-recording it. So there you go. Yeah, that's why it's a little late. Sorry about that. All right. So what's going on that's good in my life right now? Well, sales are good. We actually sold the first pair that I ever got of the Converse knee-high sneakers. Now, this pair is a black pair that had all these straps and studs and stuff on them. I'll put a picture in the notes so you can kind of just check them out. And I know this is not the reselling podcast, but still, this is a big deal. But anyway, I met with this lady 3 different times, a little over an hour away, and bought things from her 3 weeks in a row, basically on Saturdays. And yeah, the first thing I ever bought from her were these shoes and maybe 1 or 2 other little things. But these shoes, and she had 3 other pairs of these Converse knee-high. Now, those are discontinued, so they're kind of hard to find. And then she also had a couple other pair of Converse, these kind of cool ones that they're one color, and then you can kind of, the ankle part, you can kind of fold it down a little bit, and they're different colors there. They're pretty cool. But all of those Converse were new in the box. So she had the original boxes. They're brand new, never been worn, and they were only $15 per pair. I sold the first pair for $350. Plus, I had to pay for shipping and stuff like that. We walked away with about $284 after paying for the cost of goods and everything. So that one pair paid for everything I ever bought from her, which is great. I bought other things too, leather jacket, a lined denim jacket, some stuff like that, military field jacket for the winter. So bought a lot of different things from her. And actually another pair of shoes that I bought really on the last time I purchased from her were these kind of interesting looking, not Bass, I'm trying to think of who they were from, but they were penny loafers, but they were more comfy penny loafers without the hard sole and everything. And those sold really quick. These took a little while. And so it gives me faith, though, in the other 3 pair that they'll sell. But it's just going to take a little bit. So that was pretty exciting. Big profit. I think the second biggest return on investment ever after the infamous Bell. So, yeah, works great. Lots of cool stuff going on there. Just working hard and got a couple new projects I'm working on. One of them is migrating these exams for basically for judges in the AKC and the exams that they take in order to pass for certain breeds. So breed exams. So just migrating those over to a newer format because the old format's kind of dying. So just being proactive, the company or the organization is, and our group is, in order to make sure that doesn't happen while people are still using them, because they get used a lot. I mean, as you can imagine. All right, and then the other thing that's kind of interesting is, I was out running some errands yesterday, and I kind of noticed something out of the left corner of my eye, up towards the top left corner of my left eye there, and I was like, "What is that?" I was wearing the Ray-Ban Metas. I took them off and looked at them, and there was a chip in the glass on the very, very corner. But there's no damage around on the frame, so it had to have been there when I got them. I just didn't notice it. And the reason for that is, and the reason that I also noticed it all of a sudden, is that it has a UV protecting coat and all that stuff on these lenses, and that will disintegrate. So if there's a really bad scratch or a chip in the glass, slowly the discoloration will happen to that coating, and it must have just had enough time to do that. And so I was like, oh shit. Granted, I've had these for a little bit, so I was a little bit worried that they weren't going to take them back or replace that lens. And so I reached out to eyebuydirect.com, which is where I get my glasses. So it's EYEBUYDIRECT.com. I've been getting glasses from them for about a decade now, and they've been really good. They've really done a great job. It's easy to go on their website. You can actually have a picture of yourself through the webcam, or if you already have a picture of yourself, and you can have it try on different glasses if you see some you like. And then, of course, they also sell Ray-Ban Metas, which is pretty awesome. So I reached out to them. I talked with them, and at first, I was a little worried because, one of the first things the person brought up was the fact that, hey, this is past the 14-day period when you can return these. And I was like, oh, yeah, I know. But here's the thing. I didn't notice this. They had to have come this way, and I'll send you pictures. You can tell there's no damage to the frame, so it's not like I did anything to cause this. It's just now materializing. And I'll be damned if they didn't say okay, and they're sending me a whole new pair, which is interesting. That really blows me away there, because I was thinking they were just going to either have me ship these back and put a new left lens in it, or they were going to send me a lens and have me pop this one out and send them that back and pop the new one in, because you can pop these lenses in and out pretty easily from what I understand. But no, they insisted on me sending this entire pair back to them, but they're already going to start making the new ones, and they'll send me a whole new pair, no charge, which I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So very happy, yay. I was worried because just that one lens is be about $172, something like that. So I didn't want to have to pay for it, but I would have. It's just one of those things. So, but yeah, that's it. I do have some other information on something great that's happened to me recently, but that's going to come up in things I'm into, which we'll go ahead and I'll just start that right now. Okay, what am I listening to lately? Well, I can tell you that I did go see a concert this week. My buddy who I go to record store day with, Brandon, he and I went to high school together. And he saw that when Seventh Heaven shut down here in Kansas City, he's like, hey man, why don't you come to Lawrence, because he lives over there, and we'll go to record store day here at Love Garden, which is really my very favorite record store of all time in Lawrence, Kansas. I went there all the time when I was going to college there. And so, yeah, I started going to do that with him, and it's been pretty great. The last record store day we were at, he really went back and forth over whether or not he should buy this digitally remastered, or this remastered version of an album that he already had by a band called The Sword. And the album is called Warp Riders. That's right. And he was just telling me a little bit about him when he was thinking about this. And the easiest way to really put it is heavy prog rock, heavy progressive rock with sci-fi / fantasy themes. So kind of, progressive rock typically tells some sort of, sometimes, not always, but it can tell a story. And these stories generally entail something to do with science fiction or fantasy with these guys, which is interesting because the lead singer looks like a dude you would just, run into at the gas station. He doesn't look like a big, hippy dippy kind of guy. And some of the other guys in the band do. But anyway, long story short, at that time, Brandon he went ahead and bought that new version of the album, and he asked me if I would be interested in his old version. And I said, yeah, I might. I said, let me listen to him and see what I think. And so I did. And so when I went to go see him the other night, because we went to see The Sword live, he asked me to come with him. He had an extra ticket. He was given these tickets for his birthday, and his son was unable to go with him and this other friend of his. And so I went, and he wouldn't take anything for it. I did buy him a drink or two, yeah, but you know. Anyway, yeah, so we went and saw The Sword, and I will tell you, I am a fan now. There's no two ways about that. They were amazing. I just was blown away. I did grab some video and stuff of them playing, and I'll put some of that in the photo album that you'll go look at if you do. And so there's some of that. But they were really, really good, and I definitely became a fan that night. So much so that I bought, of course I'm buying that album from him, but I didn't want to really deal with it that night, so he's bringing it next record store day. In addition to that, I bought my wife a t-shirt, and I bought myself a hat. That's how much I liked it. They were really great, man. I mean, I've never been a big, heavy, hard rock music band fan, you know. It's just never really been me. I mean, I like some of it. I like some, you know, some of the older bands, you know, Metallica, Iron Maiden, you know, Judas Priest, you know, Black Sabbath, of course. I like some of that stuff, and I really love Black Sabbath. But more of the modern stuff I just really haven't been into, you know. But these guys, I love the way they sound, and the guitar work is insane. I mean, they are just fantastic. And so it was my pleasure to see them live. And boy, you know, thanks, Brandon, because you definitely opened my eyes to something new. And if there's one thing I love, it's finding new music. So, and they do covers too, these guys. So they were there for the 15th anniversary of that first album, Warp Riders, or not first album, but their album, Warp Riders. And so that's why they were on tour again. And yeah, it was amazing. But they do covers sometimes. And he was telling me that before the show. And he said that when he had seen him last, I think they did a ZZ Top cover. And I was like, wow, man, that's pretty freaking awesome. I hope they do that tonight. Well, they sort of did. They did a cover, but it was even better for me. And that was David Bowie's Major Tom. Incredible. I mean, it sounded really great. I'll try and put it in the deal too, but there are people around me that are singing and doing some bad impersonations and stuff. So just as far as British sounding, so just beware of that. I knew I was recording, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, man, they were absolutely incredible. Another thing that's going on with me as far as music, in addition to that album that I'm purchasing from him, I did go ahead and pull the trigger on a Swell, the band Swell, I love. A friend of mine, Dan, turned me on to them a long time ago. And I have had every one of their CDs, and I've got, I think, like 3 of their albums on vinyl now. And then not a lot of them are on vinyl because they were a band really in the late 90s and early 2000s when, you know, people would just put their music out either on CD or streaming only. So there's not a lot of vinyl of a lot of their records. So on their Bandcamp, they do sell some occasionally when they release things that were never on vinyl before. They'll release them on vinyl in addition to be able to buy them digitally or CD. And so I ended up picking up their last album together before the lead singer died. Lead singer and founder of the band. He passed away a few years ago. And their last album is called South of the Rain and Snow. And I really like this one. It's pretty calm, easygoing music. Some of their stuff can get not really hard rock, but it's shoegaze music, if you're not familiar with what that is. It's kind of, the whole idea is it's rock and everything, progressive somewhat, but you could just kind of stare at your shoe while you're listening to it, you know. It's that kind of deal. But yeah, this album in particular just really hit me when they came out with it. And then of course when he passed away, knowing it's his last record also, that's a big deal. So they released that one. It's a lathe cut vinyl, which is a little bit different from what I'm used to, but excited about that. And my very favorite song on it is called Waiting for a Beer. I love that song. There's other great songs on there too. I mean, South of the Rain and Snow is a good song, but yeah, I'm excited about that coming. So I'm pretty jazzed about that. What have I been watching? Nothing really too new. We are going to see Tron Ares. That's coming up, I think, next week. I'm excited to go see that. So it looks really pretty great from what I've seen. I hope so, because I'll be honest, man, Jared Leto's kind of I don't know, man. Some of the films he's come out with lately are kind of ugh. And so I usually kind of avoid him, which is crazy because, he really became known from Requiem for a Dream, and that movie is amazing. But this looks good, and I love Tron, and my wife's going to go with me. We're going on opening night, and we're pretty excited about that. So it is next Thursday. So excited to go see that one. The other thing is I did acquire a couple of Blu-ray / 4K Blu-ray discs. Vinegar Syndrome was having a pretty big sale. I don't know if you're familiar with Vinegar Syndrome, but some of the less popular and not as big films from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s even, that haven't gotten a new treatment as far as higher resolution discs, whether it be Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray. They will take some of those and take the original camera negatives or whatever they have, the highest quality version they have of the original film, and they've been remastering them. And so one of the things I got is called Adjust Your Tracking, and it's a documentary about people that collect VHS tapes, which is interesting. I'm very interested in watching that. That's a Blu-ray. I think it'll be really great. I've heard great things about it. But the other one that I got is a 4K Blu-ray, and it is of a classic. If you are from the 80s / early 90s, definitely the early 80s, you'll remember E.T., the extraterrestrial. That's not what the film is, but that's Spielberg's big movie. Now that, of course, has had multiple versions come out. However, other at the time, other filmmakers and stuff were trying to, and even film studios are trying to, jump on that bandwagon, kind of like they did with Star Wars. When Star Wars came out, everybody had to have a big space opera type movie to try and get in on some of that money, right? And the same thing was with E.T. So there was a film made called Mac and Me, and I had never actually seen it. I'd seen the tape when I was younger, or the DVD. I'd seen it here and there, but I didn't think much of it. It looked pretty shitty. And then when Mystery Science Theater 3000 came over to Netflix, they started doing some other films, and one of the films they did was Mac and Me. And so my son and I watched it, and we were just dying laughing. Man, it's I don't even know how to. It's the same kind of thing, a lone alien here meets up with a boy, and they become friends, and then people are trying to get this alien, and blah 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 blah. Just like E.T. But there are some differences. The boy is in a wheelchair in this film, which comes into play quite a bit, maybe too much. It's just a bad movie, man. But it's so bad it's good kind of thing. I mean, it is almost impossible to watch it without laughing. And so when I found out that was coming out, I was like, I got to get that. So that showed up. It's actually got a little book that came in there in the packaging with it, that kind of goes over, the making of and discusses some of that stuff, and has some behind the scenes photography of when they were shooting the movie. And anyway, yeah, I'm excited to watch that one again. I told my son, and he was just, oh, sweet, man, I can't wait. And we were just kind of laughing about it. Because, he gets it. He knows it's a bad movie. But he also will tell anyone that asks him that it's one of the best movies ever made. So he's got that same kind of ridiculous sense of humor that I do. And yeah, he digs that kind of stuff too. But anyway, so yeah, that came along. Other than that, really not a whole lot. I mean, there are some other things I really need to watch. There's some documentaries coming out. I saw the trailer for Frankenstein, the full trailer. I'm really looking forward to that. I know Mikey and I have talked a lot about it. He didn't really care for the novel as much as I did. I like the novel a lot by Mary Shelley. Um, I think it's one of the things, in addition, just a great story idea, and maybe not executed perfectly. Um, but you have to remember, she was 15 years old when she was writing this. Um, her husband was Percy Shelley. So she was 15, 16, and had a husband. And she was writing this book. And I dig it. I think it's a great story idea. I think it's awesome. And I'm really looking forward to it. This looks like a very, very faithful version of the story on film. So I'm really looking forward to it. And Guillermo del Toro, once again, has pulled off something that's pretty awesome. I really hope he gets to do At the Mountains of Madness after this, because if there's somebody who can pull off some H.P. Lovecraft action and capture it on film, it's definitely Guillermo del Toro. So hopefully that happens, but we'll see. I know he's been at it and it's canceled before, so who knows. Other than that, just watching some documentaries here and there and watching a hell of a lot of YouTube. I'll give a big shout out to this one YouTube channel that I watch. My wife and I watch together. It's called Scote, Skote, Scote Outdoors. If you go on there, it's a really interesting channel, but it's this guy, and he was kind of an adventurer. He'd go, live out in the rainforest or up in the North Pole or whatever, and he would build log cabins, and it's just, he was a pretty wild guy. Well, he purchased a 100-year-old house and a big piece of land on this island in Newfoundland, which I believe is where he's from, or at least up in that area of Canada, when he ended up purchasing this old house. And then this woman that he had kind of been seeing came to live with him. She's from West Virginia. And they basically are just working on the house and trying to set it up as a place for them to live and eventually have kids and raise kids. And they've got livestock. They've got garden they're dealing with there. I mean, it's pretty cool, man. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's just interesting how they get by and how talented they are at making things happen and building things. Well, they have found out that she is pregnant. So that's cool, man. They did get married. A while back, but they have found out they've got a baby on the way. So very exciting. Really looking forward to seeing how this all works out for them, and wish them nothing but the best, of course. So pretty cool stuff there. And keep going, guys. It's one of the most interesting things I've ever seen. And so it's really fun to watch. And I wish nothing but good things for these people. So I know YouTube's interesting. You get attached to the people that you watch. You almost feel like you know them. So it's probably the most real reality TV, even though it's not really real either sometimes, that there is out there. So pretty cool. Let's see, what have I been reading? Nothing really. I mean, I've talked to you guys about the audiobooks I'm listening to. Nothing really new there. So nothing special. Gaming, same thing, nothing really, just playing the same games that I've been playing. Definitely really digging that. I love that solitaire game, man. I can't quit. Every day I play through it. Probably play at least 3 different hands of it every single day. I really love it. And then the other thing, it's not really a game, but it's kind of a mind training application that has little games within it. It's called Elevate. I've been playing with that a lot and going through that every day too. I think I'm on a 50-some day streak with that one as well. And it's really good because it exercises your mind. You learn things while you're doing it. It's just really awesome. So been doing that as well. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but that's my glasses telling me, hey, you better charge up. I am still wearing them. When these other ones come, I'll pack these up and send them back to them. As other than that with gaming, nothing really. I mean, I'm considering selling a few things. I had the Neo Geo X Gold edition that has the handheld device, of course, and then it also has the docking station that you can connect to your TV and play Neo Geo games on your television. I bought that thing, and it actually came to me from Japan new, which was awesome. But then I found out there was a game pack that they made, one of these little cards that they had in these things that it takes. I found out there was a mega pack of games and it had 15 more games. So I started looking around for that. I found it on eBay and bought it from this person. And when it arrived, it had an extra little handheld in it. So I was like, what the hell? So now I've got 2 of the handheld things. Well, I'm going to sell one of them. I mean, I've upgraded both of them firmware-wise. They both work with regular chargers now and all that stuff. So someone could play with this and enjoy it from here on out, you know? Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and probably sell that thing. I'm hoping to get around 150 or a little bit under that for it. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I'm really considering selling my Asus ROG Ally too. I just don't use it, you know. I have a real nice Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Pro too. I just don't use it. Granted, that one's a little old. I think the 11s are out right now, but it's still an incredible tablet. I just don't use it. And so I'm thinking I'm going to sell stuff like that off. I don't need it. And, you know, maybe take the money and, I don't know, do something with it, put it towards a vacation or, you know, maybe just buy something new with that money. But I'm thinking about doing that. We'll see. I'm not 100% sold that I'm going to do it yet. I'll have to wait and see how it goes. Other than that, not much. I mean, there's nothing really new in podcasts. There's, I think, one that I didn't tell you guys about that I started listening to. It's called Late Nights with Nexpo. And it's a podcast from Mr. Ballin's network of podcasts now. It's really cool. If you get a chance, check it out. Late Nights with Nexpo. Nexpo is an internet personality, I think a YouTuber, and that tells true scary stories or whatever. And this is just the podcast for them. And then the other one was A Twist of History, which is also a Mr. Ballin podcast. Very similar. It's historical situations and true historical recountings of things that kind of have a weird twist to them. So really interesting, really fun. I don't know, man. I think I like a lot of boring stuff, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah, that's about it, guys. That's all that's really going on over here. And I appreciate you guys listening. Sorry it was a little late because I had to re-record it. But hey, I got it to you. So enjoy it. I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Go listen to Hawkpicks podcast if you haven't. Even if you're not really interested in reselling, it still could be kind of fun, I think. But it's got a lot of cool information in it. And even if you're not, even if you just buy things online, it's cool to hear, I think, about you know, what it's like on the other side of that, selling things. So check it out when you get a chance. And I will put the link in the notes for that. I'll also put the link in the notes for the photo album. You can go check out some of the videos I shot at the Sword concert. And that's all I got, guys. I appreciate you listening once again. Take it easy and do me a favor. Get off my lawn.